The first AP poll of the year, and defending national champion Alabama leads the way. Bryce Young will be under center for the Tide, who opened the season against Miami. Tough opening game for the Tide. See if they can get it done. Oklahoma, number 2 for this season, still in the Big 12. Heisman Trophy favorite Spencer Rattler. Can he get it done and lead the Sooners toward a national title run? Clemson, number 3 in the AP poll, as DJ Uiagalelei takes over at starting quarterback for the ACC favorite. Clemson opens up against the season against Georgia on ABC. You talk about a week 1 game, that's it. Coming in at number 4, defending Big Ten champion Ohio State, another team with a new quarterback, but a great receiving core. Chris Olave is back, Garrett Wilson, plenty of tight ends and weapons for Ryan Day. And rounding out the top 5, SEC East favorite Georgia with quarterback JT Daniels under center for a second season. Say it is for the Dogs. Their schedule very favorable. Alabama, Texas A&M, and LSU aren't on the schedule. They get by Clemson week 1. Who knows what could happen? Here's how the rest of the top 15 shakes out. Texas A&M, first team outside the top 5, followed by Iowa State at 7. Some similarities here to the coaches poll we saw last week. Notre Dame down, Cincinnati up. I believe Cincinnati 10 of the coaches poll. Notable teams just outside the top 25. Texas at 21, and Arizona State cracks the top 25 in the 25th spot. Now, it is clear to me by watching this poll and looking at Paul Finebaum and Sam Acho that Acho is digging through Finebaum's closet again and stealing his clothes for national television. I mean, it's just...
I appreciate you, Paul, letting me borrow the salmon. I wanted to bring out the salmon today, and I had to go to borrow it from Paul.
It's better than the stuff that he typically wears. It looks like couch material. Either way, Paul, I'm going to start with you. Good or bad for Nick Saban that his team is ranked number 1 in this initial poll?
Probably bad, Matt, for this reason. Of Nick Saban's 7 national championships, that's including 1 at LSU, only 1 time has he won from the number 1 position. That was in 2017. All the other times he has come up short. So I'm sure if you're Saban right now, you're going, enough rat poison. I don't want to be number 1, but he is stuck with it at least for a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. I mean, Nick Saban's going to use whatever he can to motivate his team, even if it's something like being number 1. I remember I had a coach, Will Muschamp. We were on the cover of the magazine, right, our Texas defense, and all of a sudden Will Muschamp said, y'all can take it and y'all can shove it, right? That's kind of Nick Saban's personality. It doesn't matter if you're ranked number 1, ranked number 20. He doesn't need any motivation. His team is going to be great.
You know, and Acho, we'll talk plenty of Alabama and Clemson this fall, but you have your eye on another ACC team that's highly ranked, not Clemson. Who is it and why?
I do. So I'm excited about UNC. It was good to see them in the top 10, but the reason I'm excited about UNC, not only because they have a great coach in Mac Brown, but they have a great quarterback in Sam Howell. Yes, we all talked about Spencer Rattler, the Heisman favorite, but Sam Howell is another Heisman candidate. This guy balled last year. He's a baller. He's going to be a top draft pick when the draft comes up, and he can play ball. They had great guys who come out of the draft, Devontae Williams, Michael Carter. They have some great receivers as well. I think Sam Howell is the reason that North Carolina is so high, and I think that's the reason that they can compete not only in the ACC, but also in the college football playoff.
Yeah, hey, Paul, before we hop back to the SEC, I want your take on that with the ACC, because it seems that Clemson's got enough guys that went to the NFL that perhaps they could be gettable this year in that conference. Agree or disagree?
Well, I do agree. I think they have a lot of things back that they did not have in the playoffs, such as Justin Ross and a little bit better offensive line. Their defensive line will be fantastic, but they don't have a lot of opportunities, Matt. And we'll talk about Georgia for a second here, because if Clemson, think about this for a second, if Clemson loses to Georgia in that opener, where do they go for another big win? They don't have any other options. They could find themselves in trouble. And I'm sure Sam is trying to manufacture North Carolina to move on up. I think North Carolina is good, Sam. But what happens when they get to that ACC championship game? I don't think Clemson has a real opportunity there either, Matt. So I'm a little concerned about them if, and I think it's a big if, but if they lose that opening game against Georgia.
Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks that, at least I don't think that Clemson's going to lose that opening game. That's a big if. It's almost like seeing you wearing a jacket like this, right? It's probably not going to happen, right? I think Clemson's going to win. I had to throw the jab out there, Paul. You know I love you. I think Clemson's going to win that opening game, and I think Carolina is, in fact, good, but they don't have to manufacture any type of wins. Clemson's been to the college football playoff 6 out of the last 7 years. So, like, they're actually good. They've won 2 titles. And so even the fact that they're ranked 3rd behind Oklahoma, I get the hype, but I love results. And that's what I look at when I look at Dabo Swinney and also Clemson.
And when you guys look at this opening weekend, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, Miami, Notre Dame, Florida State, you've got 3 playoff-altering matchups just in week 1. Paul, with Georgia, they've got the one against Clemson. This is a traditional rivalry we're bringing back, which I love to see. Is this the year for Kirby Smart? I mean, he flirts with us a lot with having a really good football team, but can't get over the hump. Is this the year for them?
I think it could be, and we don't have enough time to debate how wrong Sam was about picking Clemson over Georgia. And I never make fun of a man's clothes because, I mean, I have 18 different shades of the same blue I'm wearing right now. But the point is, I think Georgia is primed. I think this is the best Georgia team that I think Kirby Smart has had. He had a really good one his second year. And, you know, let's say they get past Clemson, and I would predict that they're going to. They have a couple of other games that matter. They have Florida, of course, and then they have the likely Alabama game. I think they can get to the playoff even by losing to Clemson, but of course that's not going to happen.
And Paul, I'm with you. I've gone on record on this show with Acho. I think Georgia's going to beat Clemson in week 1. In fact, I think it's going to be the statement win of week 1 coming up this season.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.